morning, folks. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Talk O'Clock. It's been another week and there's lots and lots of updates. So I just rewatched the last video, which I hardly ever do, because why would I? I mean, there's no reason for me. Usually I can remember what I told you. But I've been rewatching the last video before I started this one just to make sure, okay, did I tell that? Did I want to update you on that? All these kinds of things, because my brain is just scatterbrain. It's way more difficult for me to keep things together, like remember exactly, which is usually a thing I'm pretty good at, but under stress, I mean, I do forget things or I mix things up. But so I've been watching and woo, for one, I really look tired. I didn't realize that when I filmed the video and had it in post-production. Oh yeah, so I hope I do look a little more fresh today, because honestly I feel way more energized. And that is because a couple of things happened that just make it easier for me to handle daily life, and also, and that's the most important thing in this regard, Jan is doing a little better. So let me catch you up. I had filmed my legs. Ooh, the legs are shitty, but the mind is okay. Ooh, and I bumped you. I'm sorry. I had filmed Friday noon-ish the last time. So I had mentioned that one of my friends was coming over, helping me out with paperwork for Jan, and he did, which was yay, awesome. He also helped me out with a few other things around the house, so that was lovely. And then on Friday, I also started sorting all of Jan's paperwork. So one of the issues with depression is you can hardly concentrate on anything. So instead of sorting paperwork away where they belong, they were just in a huge pile, and it had been piling up for a while. So I started putting them into stacks, like university stuff, healthcare stuff, just the big umbrella kind of chunks. I did that while he was helping me out with other stuff around the house, which was lovely. And then Friday night, like I had mentioned, my friends took me out to the pub and we had a lovely time. We were actually quite a big group, 7 or 8 people. So that was awesome. We watched some soccer, we had a beer, we played some pool, so had lovely chats, just, you know, just having fun together, and that re-energized me a lot. And then Saturday my mom came over, helped me clean the house, and I did sort all of those big piles and chunks of paperwork, like completely sorted them, put them away into folders, so once Jan came back he wouldn't have to deal with the chaos, but could focus on having a clean, having a clean slate, like a fresh start, and well, do the things he has to do. So that was Saturday, and on Sunday I went to the clinic, and we were actually chatting earlier in the morning, because I had said I would go just after lunch, and we were texting back and forth, him and I, at about 10 a.m. and I was just packing all the stuff I had to take, and he was like, oh, it's so boring over here, when are you coming over? Maybe I get a nap until then. And I said, you know, I'm actually packed. If you like, I could get a cab right now and come over, and we start gaming day a little early, which we did. So I was at the clinic at 11, and we did pretty much work on a bit of university stuff first, had a coffee, and then started playing, chatted a lot. And a nice surprise was that in the afternoon, his dad and his girlfriend came to visit for an hour, which was lovely too. So after that, we had some more gaming time, and I was home maybe by 7 p.m. So I spent the whole day at the clinic, and we just enjoyed each other's company. He was a little annoyed because there was another patient that pretty much attached themselves to us and didn't give us a lot of privacy and a lot of private time. But we are the kind of people, like, when somebody feels really lonely, and that happens on Sundays at the clinic because nothing happens, we don't exclude them. So we had a little more of a challenge there because we're very witty and very fast with each other when we talk and play, and we couldn't do that. But nonetheless, we enjoyed our gaming day, so all was good. But he already started showing and telling me he's not feeling good at the clinic. He feels very isolated, like all the good things in his life are taken away. It's almost feeling like you're being punished, and I totally get that. I mean, he had to have a hard stop from daily life and from the overwhelming factors in his life. But with that, and with going to the clinic, also all the good things were put on a hard stop, and he couldn't access them anymore, which made him feel quite miserable. And it got worse on Monday. So he talked to the doctors because there's another kind of opportunity to deal with depression and get therapy and such. It's kind of like an outdoor patient program. So he talked to the doctors, and they said they find that to be a very good idea to switch to the outpatient program. So after our chat on Monday, he texted me in the evening, okay, I'm coming home tomorrow, which is very good for him, was a great decision. And it might be that my camera is dying. Let me see. Yeah, let's get the battery for as long as I can, right? So Tuesday morning, I was actually going out with one of my friends visiting their family. We had a coffee date at the parents' house, just chatting and, well, having fun, not being in caretaker mode, but doing something for me. So I had a lovely couple of hours enjoying myself. And then when I came home, Jan was home too. So he got released from the hospital. He's home now, and we're waiting for the call to tell him when the outpatient program starts. He is doing better than at the clinic. He's still very tired. He's not back to normal, back to his old self. That's not even close, but he can focus on things throughout the day for like 3 hours, and that is where I changed the battery. Woo, you look way more energized. You've got a full battery. So yeah, he can focus on things for 3 hours throughout the day, not all in one go, but he said he wanted to spend 3 hours a day on things he has to do. So it being housework, going to doctor's appointments, or working for paperwork on the university side of life. He made himself, or he decided he wanted to have 3 hours, and all the rest of the day he could either chill or do more if he feels like it. And I think that is a very good start for him. Currently we're at the point where I see, okay, after 3 hours he's really spent. So he's by far not doing as much as he would normally do, but I think it's the best way. So does he. He feels like he's not wasting his days, but also taking care of his health, which is a very, very big step for him. And I'm very proud of him to decide on how he wants to deal with this major depression episode. Let's call it an episode. So we're waiting for the call for the outpatient program to start, and then he will be looking at 8 or 10 weeks of that outpatient program. If you're not familiar with that, you go to a clinic in the morning, so it starts at 8, and he's going to be there until 4 p.m. He's having different kinds of therapies. He's like psychotherapy, physical therapy, art therapy, PMR, all of that, all different kinds of therapies. And he's going to be there with other patients, so he's also going to meet up other people with a similar challenge in their life, so he can talk to them. He can do all the things he would do when being admitted at the hospital, but he can come home at night. And that was something that was very important for him, because again, he said he felt like all the good things he got isolated from. So we realized during that week that he was admitted at the hospital that we definitely missed each other. So it's so weird that your roommate can have such an impact on your daily life and how you feel, and if you miss them or if you don't. I mean, we spend a lot of time apart in our own rooms, but we also have certain times of the day that we spend together. Like, for example, dinner time. It was really weird to sit here at my kitchen table and eat dinner alone and not having him there to chat, because that is usually our time where we catch up with each other, where we talk about how we feel, like mental state, how we're doing with MS, what we did in a day, yada, 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 all of that. And we didn't have that catch up time. We did talk on the phone for about an hour and a half every evening. But though we got back to our normal way of talking to each other on the phone, remember, we haven't been living together for the first 8 months that we knew each other, but we were talking on the phone constantly, pretty much. Like every evening, just catching up with each other, what's going on, how are you doing, blah, blah, blah. And we got back to that right away, like, whoop, we were back to that mode of communicating with each other just by phone. But still, we were missing each other, being there physically, talking, getting a hug, playing board games together, all of that. So he was saying that was one of the good things, that he felt so isolated from, like being in jail, pretty much. And that is not something that you should feel when you are admitted to the hospital for therapy. So that is counterproductive. And the doctors agreed, so he got home on Tuesday. And ever since, we've been, well, working on things for him. So there has been doctor's appointments. So Tuesday we went to the doctors. He's still ill-written, so paperwork has to be completed for university, blah, 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 just to make sure, insurance-wise, yada, 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 all the things. So we did that on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, what did we do on Wednesday? No, we did that on Wednesday because he came home Tuesday. And Thursday, which was yesterday, the thing he wanted to do for filling up 3 hours, part of that, what he did was we cleaned up my car because it has been filthy. We didn't have time to come to get around and cleaning the car, so we did that yesterday, and that was his big chore at the house. So he did some other small things too, but that was the major chunk. And then in the late afternoons, his brother and girlfriend came to visit. That was very lovely. We had a good chat together for, I think, about 2 hours, just catching up with each other, drinking a tea and having family time. And after that, and that is really the weird thing, which made me think, okay, you gotta be even more sensitive towards these things, because I'm his caretaker for one, but also I'm the one who's closest to him because we live together, so I see a lot more than other people are able to see, just because I'm physically in the same apartment. So we can't and we don't hide things from each other, like when we're exhausted, when we're happy, when we're angry, blah, 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 all these kinds of things. So while his brother and girlfriend were here, he was very chatty and very funny and very much alive and energized and all of that. And once they were gone, he just said, oh, I'm so spent. I'm so tired. So even though he didn't really show that he was exhausted, he was really exhausted just from sitting there and talking to 3 people instead of one for 2 hours. So I didn't realize even, and I'm pretty good at reading his facial expressions, I did not see that at all. So he was really good at masking how he actually felt, and I was not sensitive enough to catch the drift anyways. So that was something that I was a little surprised by, and I think I just gotta have an extra beacon or radar for when is the point that he is exhausted at this current state. When is the point reached where it's just too much for him or where it's enough for him? And make sure that he doesn't overwork himself, that he, well, takes care of his health. So that's a learning curve, I guess. And we gotta communicate even more open than we already do, which is something that how did we do that? I mean, we pretty much tell each other anything, but maybe it's more like we don't wait 5 minutes to say it, we just say it right away. I don't know, we will figure it out. We've got a couple of weeks to deal with that and get used to that. But other than that, life at home alone was easy. I mean, I didn't have bad days, so I was good, but it was easy. And I think it's just way better for him the way he decided to deal with taking care of his mental health. So I'm looking forward to the outpatient program to see how it works for him. If the outpatient program is not working for him, he still has the option to go back and be admitted to the hospital or go to another clinic. There are still options. This is not pretty much the last resort for him. But yeah, it's that's pretty much been the week. I didn't have any time at all to work on videos because, yeah, just too many things going on. And for those tiny little pockets of quiet time or leisure time that I had to take it to be, myself as healthy as can be. So if you missed or if you were surprised that there was no Beyond the Lines video on Thursday, though I recorded the video, that is why I didn't have the energy to do the post-production work, which I hope I can do this week, because, well, I'm not traveling back and forth to the clinic for one. I mean, we do have a couple of doctor's appointments for him next week, but they don't take up a whole day and they're not as exhausting for me, because whenever I went to the clinic, I was in kind of a like emergency mode, like really aware, very present, very protective, because I'm a protective person. So that takes a lot of energy out of me. And when we just go to a normal doctor's appointment for him, I don't have that. So I'm guessing I will have more energy next week to be able to do post-production work, and the video out for you. Then, what did I want to say? Ooh, my brain is partially present. Oh yeah, here we go. Something else happened which is quite exciting, and I need you all to keep your fingers crossed for us, or especially for Jörn, on Wednesday next week. So back in, I think it was late November, no, mid-late November, I was talking to you about long-term care, that there's this program from health insurance companies that when you have disabilities of whatever kind, you get rated into, you get scored like from stage 1 to I think 5. And I had told you that they denied him that long-term care. Now, we've been fighting with the health insurance company and writing back and saying, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, blah, 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 blah. They had to revise everything. And now we've got a new appointment with the company that does the, I need the word. I'm really bad with words today. What was it? Let me type. Expertise. Why did I not remember? I know the word. Sheesh. That's annoying. But yeah, they are coming back on Wednesday for another expertise on him. And you got to keep your fingers crossed that this will be the last appointment of that kind, and that he gets at least, I think we should look at stage 2 for him for the long-term care. So that's going to be a big stressor for him. I hope he will be doing okay emotionally, because if that appointment goes like the first one, I'm honestly not all that sure how he will react, how many puzzle pieces I have to help put together afterwards. I'm a little nervous and worried. On the other hand, I do have a little more leverage with this appointment. So for the first one, I just pretty much had the expert, so-called expert, direct the flow and the questions and everything. And this time around, I will be way more, let's say, pushy. I think that is the right word, towards giving the information that we want them to know, no matter if they ask or not. So they can't leave the house unless all of these 23 modules that were wrong in the first letter of expertise, until they are addressed. Second leverage is that, well, he just was at the clinic, he just got admitted, and the depression is one of the disabilities for that long-term care. So I'm thinking and I'm hoping that this appointment will be better than the first one. But honestly, I'm nervous. I'm also skeptical. I'm worried, of course. So yeah, I wonder how I will deal with that the next couple of days, because I can push it out of my mind for the longest time of the day, but whenever I think of it, it's like, there's like this knot in my stomach. It's like, You gotta sharpen the weapons. You gotta clean them. You gotta polish them, and you gotta present them all on Wednesday to make sure that he gets what is rightfully his. So yeah, I'm looking back at my own appointment. I'm so grateful that my appointment and my expert was way more chill and really just, well, putting all the things in the ladder of expertise to get me where what is rightfully mine, the help that I deserve with my disability. Not more and not less. It's just what what is rightfully yours. So yeah. So I'm gonna tell you next week how we feel about the appointment, and how Jan deals with that, because this is also going to be very exhausting for him, because he has to talk to more than one person for an hour and a half. Yeah, it's gonna be very exhausting for him. So keep your fingers crossed, guys. I would very much for you to send you all the good vibes, all the positive vibes, all the energy that we're gonna have a success next week. That would be lovely. But for now, I'm gonna leave you to your weekend. Our weekend will be pretty quiet on Saturday. It's just food shopping, nothing else on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we do have our friend over for a little bit of board gaming and lovely dinner, and just friend time. So that's our weekend. I hope you have a great weekend. Do something good. I hope your week was smooth and chill and not as exhausting, maybe. That would be lovely. And I thank you very much for watching. If you have questions or comments, as per usual, leave them in the comment section below. I will get to them as quickly as I can. I know I didn't answer any of the comments that came in last week, but again, I gotta prioritize, and health and energy are first priority. You guys are second. So I will get to the comments, I promise. So take good care, have fun, and I'm gonna see you next week. Bye.